Hey all, what's going on? Today I am predicting the NFL playoffs. So yesterday I had Madden predict the playoffs. Now today I'm predicting the playoffs. So yeah, let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with the Texans and Bills. Um, the Bills have been a good team all year long. They've kind of surprised me a little bit. I didn't think they'd be this good and make the playoffs, but they did, and I am going to pick the Texans here, but this is because they have home field advantage for this game. They're at home. The Bills have to go to Houston, so I just think the Texans are going to win. At the end of the day, I think they're a little bit of a better team too. Titans and Patriots. Oh man, I hope the Patriots lose this game. Because they haven't played in the wild card weekend in like 10 years. They've been playing in the division round every year for the past 10 years, something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. And now they're finally in the wild card round after choking against the Dolphins, which they seem like they do every year. They always find a way to lose the Dolphins every single year. But does that mean I think they're going to lose in the wild card round to the Titans, who went 9-7? No, it doesn't. I hope it happens, but I don't see it happening because the Patriots, no matter how bad they are in the regular season, they always seem to find a way in the playoffs. Does that mean I think they're going to make the Super Bowl? You're going to have to wait to find out. Vikings and Saints. This is a rematch game from a couple of years ago in the divisional round where the Vikings had the Minneapolis Miracle. I don't think that's hard to forget for most people, especially Saints fans or Vikings fans. But in this game, the Saints are the better team. They are. They deserve a first-round bye. The Packers got it because, tiebreakers and stuff, even though the Packers are not the second-best team in the NFC by no means at all. Saints have to play in the wild card round. I think they beat the Vikings. They get the rematch. They win their rematch against the Vikings, and they're going on to the divisional round. Seahawks and Eagles. So, man, Seattle was 1 yard, not even that, probably even closer, away from getting the third seed and having the 49ers be playing against the Eagles in this game. But they were all so close. The Seahawks end up being the 5 seed playing at Philadelphia. And I think that's the only thing going for the Eagles, is that they have a home game. They went 9-7. They were 5-7 at one point before winning their final 4 games, and they really could have lost all of them pretty much. I think that Seattle is going to win this game. They're the better team, in my opinion. Like I said, they were so close to being the 3 seed that, even though they have to go on the road in this game, I still think they're going to win, which means we're going to have a rematch between Seattle and 49ers in the divisional round. That would be a really good game. Speaking of that rematch between Seattle and 49ers, that's the first game I am going to be predicting for the divisional round. Yeah, the 49ers, I think, are the better team. Seattle won the first time they played, nearly won the second time they played. And, looking at the wild card round, I only had really one upset, and that wasn't really an upset, Seattle beating Philadelphia. So I'm going to be bold. I am going to predict Seattle knocks off the 49ers. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I need one bold prediction, right? And Seattle is very capable of beating the 49ers. They almost beat them twice. So, 49ers, who thought they were going to the Super Bowl this year, had a great year. I predict they're going out in the divisional round. Seattle has a great opportunity to return to the Super Bowl. The next game I'm predicting is Ravens and Texans. Man, the Texans are good, but the Ravens are on a different level this year. I think they are by far the favorites to make the Super Bowl out of any team remaining. So I'm going to pick the Ravens here because I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a big game in the playoffs. He didn't last year when he started a playoff game. He didn't have a great game, but he was in his rookie season. This year, he's having an MVP season. And, Deshaun Watson's a good player and all. The Texans are a good team, but I had them barely even beating the Bills. And, the Bills are good, but they're not as good as the Ravens are. Chiefs and the Patriots. This is a rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year. I think this would be a good game because it was a good game last year. And, the Chiefs were able to steal away a first-round bye after the Patriots choked against the Dolphins. But, last year, I think the Chiefs should have won that AFC Championship game. It really determined by the coin flip. Had the Chiefs won the coin flip, they would have probably been playing in the Super Bowl and probably would have won it too. So this year, I am predicting the Chiefs knock off the Patriots. It probably won't happen because the Patriots always seem to find a way to the Super Bowl, but I think it's going to happen, and that's what's important, right? Packers and the Saints. Yeah, the Saints are the better team here. Like I said earlier, they played the Vikings. Now they have to play another team from the NFC North. This time they have to go on the road to do it. Somehow the Packers got a first-round bye. Throughout the whole season, they did not play like they should have had a first-round bye. When you only beat the Lions twice by a field goal, both times you play them, you're not that good of a team because the Lions are not good. Let's make that clear. I'm a Lions fan. I'm wearing a Michigan shirt, so I'm a Lions fan. And when you barely beat the Lions by a field goal twice, you're not that good. The Saints would have completely blown out the Lions had they been playing them in the final game of the year. So I'm predicting the Saints are going to win this game. Conference championship game. This means the Chiefs are at the Ravens. I can only imagine what this game would be like. It would be a great game. It really would. Oh, man. I can only imagine how good of a game this would be. I think it's very likely to happen, even though the Patriots are probably going to make it to the AFC Championship game and probably make it to the Super Bowl. But that's not what I'm predicting. I'm predicting... I'm going to go ahead and predict an upset. I think the Chiefs knock off the Ravens here. I was not planning on making this prediction going into the video, but after thinking about it just like right now in the last 5 seconds, the Chiefs should have made it to the Super Bowl last year. And I think that the more experience from Patrick Mahomes compared to Lamar Jackson, that's going to help him. I really think that's going to help Patrick Mahomes here. And I'm going to predict Chiefs to win the game. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a good shootout. Probably one of the better games of the whole year. I've got the Chiefs winning. I really do. Right, so the next game. Seattle is playing at Saints. So, wow. So the Saints were not at all expected to have a home game in the NFC Championship game. They didn't even have a home game in the divisional round. But because of Seattle upsetting the 49ers, they have a home game. And I think they take great advantage of that. I really do. Like I said, the Saints are probably the best team in the NFC besides the 49ers. I think the 49ers might be the best, but the Saints are not that far behind. And that was showed by the 48-46 game they played in the regular season. But unfortunately, because I had the Seahawks upsetting the 49ers in the divisional round, we're not going to have another great game. I think the Saints completely blow out the Seahawks. We're going to have something like the Eagles and Vikings 2 years ago in the NFC Championship game. It's going to be something like that. I think the Saints blow them out of the water. I don't think Seattle's surprised they're here. I think they barely beat the Eagles. I think they barely beat the 49ers, but they get blown out by the Saints. The Super Bowl. That means I have the Chiefs going against the Saints in the Super Bowl. And I'm just gonna say it. I think I got the Saints winning. I've been talking about how good they are this whole video, and who knows, they might lose to the Vikings in the first round for all I know. They really could. But I've got the Saints winning the Super Bowl. I think Drew Brees has a great game, continues to have a great postseason, wins the game, and then retires. I think if Drew Brees wins the Super Bowl with the Saints, I think he retires. Teddy Bridgewater would take over as the starter. It might not happen, but honestly, if he wins the Super Bowl, look at how many records he's broken. He's now the leader in passing yards and touchdowns, and has had other records that he's broken too. So I think he could easily retire. And I think after the Saints lost the past 2 years when it looked like they were going to the Super Bowl especially last year. They should have been in the Super Bowl last year, but a pass interference call that didn't happen cost them a shot in the Super Bowl. And they should have beat the Vikings a couple of years back, but they lost in the Minneapolis Miracle after they failed to tackle. They were capable of winning the Super Bowl the last 2 years. And I think this year the Saints get their revenge and they win the Super Bowl. Yeah, there's my predictions. If you want to go down in the comment section below and tell me how wrong I am, go ahead. I don't really care. I'm sure I'll be wrong. I'm sure the Saints will probably lose to the Vikings in the first round, and the Chiefs are going to lose to the Patriots, and the Patriots are going to win another Super Bowl. I mean, it's just going to happen. I mean, they can't be stopped by any team. Besides the Giants and the Eagles. But I mean, maybe if the Eagles if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, that would be the biggest upset out of any of the teams in the playoffs. Maybe besides the Titans, but yeah, not gonna happen. If you haven't seen my Madden video where Madden 20 predicts the playoffs, go check that out. The link will be down below in the description. And I'll see you all later. Peace.